me, third thing that drove me nuts is we might see if we can get you some financial aid. Wait, I felt like, even though Kevin Hart wasn't popular back then, I felt like Kevin Hart, wait a minute, you're not going to speed past that like you just didn't say what you just said. What's up? How you doing? Listen, it's still the first week of the year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I hope you're still happy about this year, and thank you for jumping back on board with a moment in time with yours truly, Aaron Thomason. I'm pumped that you're here, and I got the same question. Did you bring 3 people with you? Did you bring 3 people? Yeah, we're not just doing one in the new year. Did you bring 3 people with you? Are you being selfish? Hey, let's have some fun. Come on, let's jump into it. So, we're talking about hope this week, right? We're talking about hope. Why is hope important? Because that's what the new year brings. It brings the excitement of something different. It brings the anticipation that things can be better than what they once were. It gives us an opportunity that we are believing from a positive nature that the unfamiliar is actually better than the familiar. This is what hope is all about, right? It's having faith that something can and will be different. And what we talked about before was like, you got to have 3 elements to keep your hope. You got to have a goal. I know some of y'all keep rolling your eyes. Some of y'all still ain't done it yet and you're frustrated. I'm trying to keep your hope so you don't lose your goals and your New Year's resolutions this year because you didn't have it in place. So one, you got to have a goal. You got to know where you're going. You got to know what makes sense. When you wake up in the morning at 5 a.m., that's what we're doing. When I'm going to work and I'm doing this, that's what makes sense. If I'm saving money, I'm doing it. It's got to make sense because you got to have a goal, right? Number 2, remember, you actually got to have a pathway, a direction to kind of know how you're going to get there. And though it may take 20 different steps to get there, the only thing that you need to know to get started is just to go in a direction. Just take 1 step in the direction and be disciplined on that step so much to the point that you say, oh, I get another step. And you earn the other step to create the momentum necessary for you to actually end up at what? Step 1, the goal, the thing that you saw in your mind that you probably have been overthinking, right? That you've been second guessing, that now all of a sudden you see that it's closer than it ever has been. But then number 3 is that belief in you. Yeah, the belief in you. And see, that's where I kind of want to start this story on a moment in time. And remember, this is when I let you into my business. So, as many of you know, I played basketball in college, and I played at one university first, Oregon State University. Go Beavs, right? And though we weren't that good, those were my brothers, and some of them dudes I'm still tight with to this day, lifelong relationships. But there was a moment, the coaches that recruited me got fired, and those coaches then wanted to bring in their own players, those who have played sports. You understand leadership dynamics in organizations. When there's new leadership, they want to bring their team in so they can implement their strategy, their thought process, create the culture, have the people around them that they trust. Sports is no different. Now, again, as an 18-year-old kid, you don't know that. You feel like you're being rejected. You feel like people on your head. But at the end of the day, it was business. It's just business. It wasn't personal. So now I'm stuck with a decision of where do I go next, because being at Oregon State wasn't it. And it was a school, I'm not going to leave the school out. They probably don't even remember they did this to me, right? But there was a school that reached out to me. It was a smaller school on the West Coast, because Oregon State's, one of the biggest conferences. It was called the Pac-10 back then. Now it's the Pac-12. And small school calls me in my dorm and said, hey, we heard about you. But you, I know you're not playing much, but we hear good things about you, but we want to bring you down here to do, and these are 2 things that drove me nuts, to try out and to see if you could make the team. And if you make the team, third thing that drove me nuts is we might see if we can get you some financial aid. Wait, I felt like, even though Kevin Hart wasn't popular back then, I felt like Kevin Hart, wait a minute, you're not going to speed past that like you just didn't say what you just said. So I'm getting ready to give up a Division I full scholarship, and you only promising me a tryout to get financial aid? Man, if you don't get the heck out of here with that, I promise you that was the last time I talked to that coach and I ever even considered the university. Because the one thing that I knew is I believed in me. Nope. My coaches at the time didn't believe that much in me. My teammates were questioning some things because they didn't really get a chance to see the best of me. But one thing I did know is I was pretty good. And I just hadn't had a chance to show it. And I believed in me. And I knew that option that somebody was presenting me wasn't the right one. And I wasn't taking it. Nope, wasn't going to take it. And see, for some of you all this year, your belief in you is going to be so key because somebody's going to present you something that you're going to be tempted to take it because it seems like it's the easy way out. But I'm going to tell you, there's something in your spirit that's telling you, don't you do it. No, don't you do that. Don't take that. That's beneath you. And you're like, but Aaron, I don't have nothing right now. And this is the only thing that I got. And guess what? I didn't have no scholarship opportunities. One of the main schools that was recruiting me at the time, the coach actually didn't even go there anymore. He wasn't even working there anymore. I fooled around and called another coach and they were like, well, we might wait and see. So I'm coming down to the point that there's some other options that I thought I had that weren't showing up, but I knew that disrespectful offer and opportunity they were trying to give me because they thought I was going to be desperate. I told them, no, I ain't talk about it again. And that's what I need you to be able to do. In this new year, don't you lose hope in you. Don't you lose hope that your goal's not possible. Don't you lose hope in the fact that maybe the path might be a little bit windy, might be a little sandy, might be a little bit blurry, but just know you're going in the right direction because you are enough. Don't you take the disrespectful thoughts, the disrespectful offers, the things that are beneath you, that you know what your goal is, you know where you're going. Don't you be distracted because somebody thinks that they can do something for you and treat you like a charity case. We're not doing that. And that's how I felt. Like, wait a minute, I am better than this. I will go back home, not play basketball, and just go to school before I let you disrespect me. And some of you all got to have that in your spirits this year. That I will take less than what I have right now before I let you disrespect me for what you think is a good offer. And anything less than the goals that you see in your mind, the visions that you believe can be your reality, that's disrespectful. It's that simple. It's that simple. And since it's disrespectful, you let it go. You let it pass on by and you wait for the right thing to come through. Because when you believe in you, and you stand on it long enough, somebody else is going to believe in you and the right opportunity is going to come. Yep, you got to stay consistent on that path, taking the next step that leads to the next step that creates the momentum for you to get to your goal. But you got to be willing to do that and not settle for something less. And I'm going to tell you, I was so proud of myself because it took a little bit, but one of my coaches from back home heard about what was going on. He got me connected with some other schools, and then I had schools fighting over me. And as you all know, I ended up playing up at Valparaiso University. Ended up playing there. Had an amazing career. Became a Hall of Famer because I went to Valparaiso University. So think about that. A place where now my name is etched in the halls of sports forever could have easily been missing because I took an offer that was disrespectful because I was desperate. That's what's been delaying your goals. It ain't because you're not good enough. It isn't because you don't see it in your mind. It isn't because that it ain't possible for you. It's just you have settled and been disrespected by stuff that's not meant for you. That scholarship wasn't meant for me. They wouldn't actually give me a scholarship. That school wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant for me to stay out there. It was meant for me to go to Northwest Indiana, to a small Lutheran school, to actually be part of a legacy that has yet to be tapped, a legacy that has yet to be unearthed, that now my name, when you go to Valparaiso University's Hall of Fame, my name is there. And I want you to have that same excitement that in your family's lives, the legacy that you're developing, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. Because this is going to be the year that you will not be disrespected. You will not take on offers that are beneath you. You are going to let them pass by. You're going to stay on the path because the goal isn't about it if, it's just about when. All right. Listen, it's the new year and I'm still excited. Listen, I know you know at least 3 people that need this, that need to stop being disrespected by these bold offers, that they need to stop being disrespected by these bad offers and need to ultimately let them pass by and stay on the path and get to the goal. So give it to 3 people. Don't be selfish. But here's the one thing I want you to do for me before we jump out of here. I just want you to put in the comments again. If you got a goal, you on the path, and you believe in you, all I want you to do is put in the comments hope. That's it. That's all I want you to do is put in hope. And as you're putting in hope, I want you to remember this. Just because you started out on this journey to get better, it doesn't mean that you weren't already good. So until next time, I'll see you then.